Ms. Mahmoud, my question is about NGOs in Egypt. Actually, the women activities in NGOs in Egypt.
Yes,
When we look at the year 2006 and 6, the NGOs in Egypt were around 18,000.
yes,
This is like an unofficial network and has great impact on social life in Egypt.
yes.
Women also have active roles by means of these NGOs activities. Actually, it's very good because when we look at the Quran, the women and men are equal, and of course, women has to be in these activities as men do, inshallah. Could you give more information on the contribution of women and how that can be enhanced and spread in all areas?
Right. It's one of the topics which is dear to my heart, but it makes me sad as well, because the situation of women in Egypt and in several other countries in the Arab world is going downhill. I mean, initially in the 60s, women earned the rights where they earned their equality, but then things start to go downhill again. There is several NGOs, as you rightly mentioned, but some of them were not regulated, and some of them have been funded by religious groups, some of them have been funded by Western groups, some of them funded by Christian groups. You don't know the aim of this organization, you don't know which one really work well and which one don't, but overall, their contribution to society was very positive, and it helped a lot of women to spread the work in rural areas, to educate women in the rural area of Egypt about their rights. I'm not so sure how you're aware, but we have a problem with female genital circumcision. 96% of rural women are circumcised in Egypt, which is not practiced by Islam and is not advocated by the Prophet. But unfortunately, this bad habit spread in Egypt, since quite some time, sadly. And the work of women in NGO organizations have helped to increase awareness of the drawback of this bad habit, of its bad influence on the women, on her relationship with her husband, the health impact of it. And this is a very important area, because we can't just carry on like this, ignoring rural women, ignoring how badly they live, how badly they are oppressed. Is just not fair. And I think there is a scope of NGOs in Egypt to work more in rural areas. This is where radicalism happens. This is where sectarianism happens. Tension between Copts and Muslims mostly happen in the rural area. Radical recruitment mostly happen in rural area. And again, family planning, poverty, bad health, hepatitis C, it's widely spread in Egypt. All these areas, I mean, the health, the education, the women's rights, all this area is still need more and more help from non-government organizations.